Hello, well-wishers, and welcome to my channel Aspiring Minds. We all face Monday blues. We don't like going to the school or for work, right? But what if I told you the poem by William Ernest Henley, that is Invictus, could inject you and your everyday routines with a powerful narrative, a fresh, renewed energy. So grab your virtual seats and let's begin. Now, before we proceed discussing the line-by-line meaning of the poem, I would want to tell you the meaning of the word Invictus, because this is a poem with only one word and it is a little rare word because the word Invictus is a Latin word which means unconquered or undefeated, and the word in itself captures the essence of the poem's theme about how one should be strong and resilient and face any challenges that might come in the way of a person. Let's know about the poet William Ernest Henley. He was an English poet, a critic, and an editor known for his contribution during the Victorian period. He faced a lot of health challenges during his lifetime. He even faced tuberculosis of the bone, and in those times there was no cure for tuberculosis, and it led to the amputation of one of his legs at a very young age. He used to move about without a leg. So despite these hardships, we see how Henley as a person was determined to face any challenges that came his way, and therefore we see that he wrote the poem Invictus, which is one of his most famous poems and serves as an example, as a testament to his unconquerable, indomitable spirit. So we see that the poem Invictus was written in the year 1875 while Henley was hospitalized for the treatment of his tuberculosis condition. The poem that he wrote reflects on his steadfast, strong refusal to succumb to the adversities, the difficulties that he was facing in his life, and so it became widely popular and gained fame for being an empowering poem. Let us now decode the line-by-line meaning of the poem. Stanza 1. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. So in the first stanza, the speaker describes the darkness that surrounds him. I told you, remember, because of his health condition. And yet, it emphasizes how deeply he was affected by this kind of a situation. But despite this gloomy, sad scenario that he was in, the speaker addresses and expresses his gratitude to any high powers for the resilience of his soul. He is very thankful that even though he is physically weak because of his condition, his willpower, his soul is extremely strong, and he feels that he has got this strength from the higher powers of God. So the phrase unconquerable soul sets the tone for the poem, highlighting the inner strength that remains unbroken in the face of challenges that he was facing. Stanza 2. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. So here the speaker acknowledges the harsh grip of fate, his luck, that is, fell clutch of circumstance, that he is feeling like he has to use clutches over here, the blows that he is dealing with because of the circumstances of his life. To share a personal little information with you, a personal little thing that I recently faced is, I know a cousin of mine, merely 23 years old, and he has been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, but yet we see how he is conquering it with his full willpower. So you can imagine that even in today's times, diseases are gripping people at an early age. So even the poet faced something like that. Despite the suffering and the wounds, the speaker remains resolute, strong, refusing to show any outward signs of feeling any kind of pain or defeat. The imagery of a bloody head symbolizes the struggles, the pain, the challenges that he is facing. But at the same time, he uses the word unbowed, that his spirit is unbowed, his spirit is extremely strong even in these trying times. Stanza 3. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. So beautifully he is putting it. The speaker over here looks beyond the current situation of his suffering, that is the wrath, the tears that he is facing, and he envisions or imagines that there is still a horror of shade, or there is darkness that is still awaiting him because of the situation. Remember, I told you one of his legs had to be amputated, but still he knows there is going to be darkness. Times are not going to be easy, but despite this, scary, horrific future, the menace of the years in time to come that he would have to spend without a leg, he asserts that he is fearless, he's strong. So this stanza reinforces the idea of resilience and the unwavering spirit in the face of difficulties of life. Finally, in the final stanza, he says, "It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul." The final stanza captures the poem's overreaching message, the ultimate message. The speaker asserts over here that the difficulty of the path, that is, straight is the gate, the difficulty in the path of his life is, yes, going to be severe. He is going to face a lot of consequences because these are the punishments which are written in the scroll of his life by God. It cannot be ignored, but yes, it can be faced with full strong spirit. So the key declaration, the final announcement he makes is that the individual is in control of his destiny. He's saying that what is going to happen to me is not in my control. What is written for me, I will have to suffer from it, I will have to face it, but yet I have my personal agency, my freedom and autonomy about how I react to a situation. There is a quote that goes around that it doesn't matter about what life is giving you or what are the opportunities or the missed opportunities that come in your life, but it is how you react to the situation is what matters. What is your approach to life, your outlook to life is what ultimately matters. So he uses the term master and captain, which further highlights that he is going to be in complete authority and command over his own life, and that is what is a kind of a suggestion he gives to the readers of his poem as well. Let's know a little fun fact. So during the days when I was doing my masters, I had a novel in my syllabus by Andre Gide called Straight is the Gate. And do you know, the title of this book is taken from stanza 4 of the poem Invictus. So you see how one work of literature is interconnected with the other. One works as a source of inspiration for another. So what are the three major themes of the poem? First is resilience. The poem highlights the human capacity to endure, to face, bear and overcome adversity with unwavering strength and determination. Secondly, we see how the poet exercises individual freedom, individual autonomy. He celebrates the idea that it is the individuals who have control over their fate and are the captains of their own souls, because even if the life is taking you in another direction, if you work hard towards a particular something, you can change the course of your life. And I have also personally done that, and I have seen that yes, life is rewarding in the most unexpected ways, so never stop trying. And thirdly, we see that the poem highlights the idea of having courage in the face of adversity. The speaker's fearlessness in confronting life's challenges is a prominent theme that we find throughout the poem. So that's it from this video. I hope you liked it. Do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more such future updates. Thank you for watching. Bye.